Good afternoon, dear friends. In our last video, we talked about the Book of Enoch, what this ancient text contains, and why it has remained so controversial. Today we are going to explore one of the most mysterious and unsettling subjects found in that book, the Watchers. Long before modern religion took shape, ancient texts told a story that would later be hidden, debated, and even feared. It is a story of beings who were not human, not gods, but something in between. They were called the Watchers. Their account is preserved most fully in the Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish text written more than 2,000 years ago, excluded from most modern Bibles, yet known and referenced by early Jewish and Christian communities. Now, let us uncover who the Watchers were, what they did, and how their actions reshaped the ancient world. According to the Book of Enoch, the Watchers were angels assigned to observe humanity and maintain divine order on earth. They were not created to rule, only to watch. But over time, observation turned into fascination, and fascination slowly became desire. Led by a figure named Semjaza, 200 watchers descended from the heavens to earth, landing on Mount Hermon. There, they made a binding oath, an agreement that none would turn back. They would take human women as wives. According to the Book of Enoch, this act was more than disobedience. It was a direct violation of cosmic boundaries. Now, let us talk about forbidden knowledge. Once the Watchers crossed that boundary, their rebellion did not stop with desire. Next, they brought something far more dangerous: knowledge. According to Enoch, they taught humanity secrets never meant to be revealed: the making of weapons and armor, the art of warfare and bloodshed, sorcery, enchantments, and astrology, the manipulation of nature and celestial signs. At first, human civilization advanced rapidly, but as a result, violence increased, corruption spread, and the balance of the world began to collapse. This leads us to the giants, the Nephilim. From the union of the Watchers and human women came offspring known as the Nephilim. These beings were described as giants, vast in size, strength, and hunger. At first, they consumed the labor and resources of humanity. Then, when that was no longer enough, they turned on humans themselves. The earth, according to Enoch, became filled with bloodshed and suffering. It was this corruption, human and non-human, that finally demanded divine intervention. As the chaos reached its peak, God commanded the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel, to intervene. The giants were destroyed, many during the catastrophic flood of Noah's time. The Watchers, however, faced a different fate. They were bound in chains, cast into darkness, imprisoned beneath the earth, forced to await final judgment. They would no longer walk freely among humanity. Their rebellion was over. Now, something even more unsettling emerges. The Book of Enoch explains that when the giants died, their physical bodies perished, but their spirits did not. These disembodied spirits became restless and destructive beings that plagued humanity. Over time, these spirits would come to be known as demons. This idea would go on to profoundly influence Jewish and Christian theology for centuries. Although the Book of Enoch was excluded from the modern biblical canon, its influence is unmistakable. References to similar events appear in other biblical texts like Genesis 6, which speaks of the sons of God, and the Nephilim. The Book of Daniel, which refers to heavenly watchers. The Book of Jude, which directly quotes Enoch. 2 Peter, which speaks of angels who sinned and were imprisoned. For early readers, the story of the Watchers was not fringe, it was foundational. Now, a question that goes even further. Did other civilizations also believe that beings from beyond the earth came down and interacted with humanity? Across the ancient world, many cultures preserved stories not just of gods or spirits, but of visitors from the sky. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Anunnaki were described as powerful beings who descended from the heavens, taught humanity agriculture, law, and sacred knowledge, and shaped the early foundations of civilization. In ancient Egypt, the gods were said to come from the stars. Texts and temple inscriptions speak of beings associated with the sky, light, and the heavens, guiding pharaohs and ruling during a distant first time known as Zep Tepi. Among the Maya and Aztecs, figures like Quetzalcoatl were described as luminous beings who descended from the sky, brought knowledge, and promised to return. In Hindu tradition, the Devas are celestial beings who travel between realms, descending from the heavens to influence human affairs, often wielding advanced weapons described in the ancient epics. Even in Sumerian and Babylonian texts, gods are portrayed using flying chariots, radiant vehicles, and thunderous crafts that move between heaven and earth. Different names, different cultures, yet strikingly similar descriptions. Which brings us to a final question. Was Goliath a descendant of the giants? The Bible describes Goliath as belonging to the Rephaim, a race of giants said to exist after the flood. His immense size and lineage from Geth, a city associated with giants, has led many scholars to suggest that some corrupted bloodlines survived. The text never explicitly calls Goliath a Nephilim, but the implication is difficult to ignore. David's victory may have symbolized more than courage. It may have represented the final downfall of an ancient, forbidden legacy. I hope this video about the Watchers has pleased you. Thank you for watching. And if you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Bye, my friends, and may peace be with you.